Hello Pisces, Elsie here to do a reading for you. It is for the overall month of March. Yeah, it's a tiny bit late this time. I usually get them out before the month starts, but you have a reading back there I did last week that is for the week ahead, so you already have the energy for this week. So I'm here to give you the overall energy for the month. I've got some oracles here, and we are going to pull the oracles for the overall energy, and then we're going to pull some tarot for the details in that energy. Pisces, happy birthday. I hope you're having a beautiful Pisces season. I know I am. So many changes going on right now, astrologically, right? Venus just moved out of your sign. We just had a new moon in your sign, so a new door has opened for you. And so Venus has now moved out of your sign and is now retrograding in Aries. And so also what's coming up in the month of March is we are in Mercury retrograde on the 15th of March, but listen, it's already retrograde shadow. We're already in that shadow period. So sometimes I have a hard time tripping over my words during that time. And Mercury retrograde on the 15th. And then it's going to slide back into your sign on the 27th. So it goes retrograde on the 15th. It'll be there till April 7th. But March 29th, it goes back into your sign. It's going to retrograde in Pisces for a little bit. And we also have that 2-week shadow period, post-shadow period, right? I think that's really all you need to know. Oh, we have a couple of eclipses coming up too. One in the middle of the month, around the 13th or the 14th, a full lunar eclipse in Virgo, and then we have the eclipse in Aries at the end of the month on the 29th, as the planet of Mercury moves back into your sign. Whew, look, that was hard to get through. All right, let's find out what's going on in the month of March for you, Pisces, the birthday babies. Let's find out what's going on for you, Pisces. We've got surrender now. Kind of like that, only because it's card number 12, and that's your sign, right? You are the 12th sign of the zodiac. So it is also about intuitive energy, right? And so I feel like you are supposed to surrender. And what I mean by that is stop trying to control the ending. I'm not saying that all of you are, but sometimes when we don't know what's coming up, sometimes we will tend to try and control the outcome of things. And so I feel like you're not supposed to do that in the month of March. The month of March is a time to surrender or let go. Look, there's so much going on, so many changes going on astrologically that are going to impact you and everybody else. So I feel like you're just supposed to go with the flow. Yeah. Go with the flow, my friend. It says act as if. Yep, act as if you knew that was going to happen. Act as if things are all in balance. Card 14 is temperance, right? That's Sagittarian energy. Act as if you already knew that was coming. So that's the way you manifest, right? Act as if you already know that it's on the way. So blending in with the surroundings just a little bit. Acting, when you get... when in Rome, do as the Romans do, as they would say, right? I feel like that's what it's talking about when it's saying act as if. Find out what else we have here for Pisces. Tell me about Pisces. Tell me about Pisces. We've got the voyage. So I feel like surrendering is going to take you on a voyage. Maybe not one that you picked for yourself, but I think it'll take you on the right one. It feels like at times when you feel like that you need to release things, or you're feeling very emotional, which you might come across as Venus is retrograding, Mercury is retrograding back into your sign. It does feel like with Voyage, it feels like it's emotional. It feels like you're being carried by the universe. As long as you can find the power within you to surrender to your intuition. Trust yourself was what I'm trying to say. Make sure that you can trust yourself here. We've got protection, and know that you are protected. I feel like you do have the shelter of the universe from the storm. So just go ahead and surrender. I think that things are going to be okay. It feels like with this water here, that if you just go with the flow and act as if and surrender, instead of fighting the energies that are going on around us, I feel like you'll be in a happier place. What else does Pisces need to know about the month of March? We have guilt. Okay, so it says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. And guilt can come from many different places. There's parent guilt, there's grandma guilt, there's grandpa guilt, there's brother and sister guilt, there's child guilt, right? Everybody is like, when they can't do something that they know, maybe somebody wants you to do something for them that's not necessarily good for you. You still feel kind of guilty for not doing it, but you're doing the thing that is best for you. Hopefully you are. We've got empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation. And so that should help you pull back on some of the guilt. When you know that all you can do is your best and you're being kind and empathetic to the people around you, I feel like that sort of helps with the guilt just a little bit. And it's going to help you release any beliefs that are no longer of your soul's growth. I think that sometimes, when friends don't come back, when we put up our boundaries and friends don't come back, sometimes that can cause guilt. But I want to say, I think that you're supposed to work through it because you are on a different voyage here, a voyage of trusting the self this month and acting as if, right? Going with the flow. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, I'm going to say. So just sort of, not really going against the grain. I'm going to say this wouldn't be the month to do it with, got a couple of eclipses and things in retrograde. Like we got, 3 or 4 planets, two planets for sure in retrograde. I don't know about the rest. I'm not your astrologer, right? Go find an astrologer if you want more information about how all of this is affecting you, depending on whether you are in your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Jupiter. All right, let's get to some tarot here. Tell me about the surrender now. What does Pisces need to surrender to? And why does Pisces need to surrender? And surrender isn't giving up. Surrender is just like saying to the universe, okay, I'm going to take it as it comes. Whatever arrives to me, I'll take it as it comes one by one. I'll take on the responsibilities or the guilt or whatever voyage I'm supposed to go on. I won't fight the flow. I won't fight the current. We do have the Ace of Cups. We have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like something that has been taking a little while, Pisces, is about to speed up. It does feel like it's the beginning of something. Now, it could be self-love. It could be love for another. It could be somebody who is charging toward you. The Knight of Wands isn't always a player. Sometimes it's just fast-moving energy. It's desire. It's the braveness of getting out there, taking a risk on love. I think that's what this is saying here, that maybe it's been a long time since you've been dating or maybe in a relationship, and maybe it's time for you to take a risk on love. And so it feels like this could be self-love or this could be love of love of another person. The one thing I just want to note, though, is that, the one thing that we should note about the Ace of Cups is that it's refillable, right? So it's always like it's somebody has dipped, the hand of the Creator here has dipped into the water, and your cup is overflowing with love. So, I mean, that's love for everybody, for you, for other people, right? With the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like you've been really working hard on maybe loving the self. And if that is the truth, then I feel like you need to trust your intuition. That I feel like you find a new spark or a new passion for the love of self this month. Tell me more. We've got the Eight of Swords. We've got the Death card. Yeah, it's the end of being in your head, I feel. About the first week and a half of the month here, it feels like you're starting to move away from things that no longer serve you, right? It says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. And I think that's what it's saying here. With the Eight of Swords is a place where we're stuck. We don't know what to do. Scared if we move this way or that way that we're going to get cut. Or that it's a place of imprisonment. We put ourselves in an imprisonment of the mind. I feel like that is transforming itself, or that those days are over, I want to say. You're now in this energy of movement, and you're releasing the Eight of Swords, which I feel is the chaos, because this card is like going from chaotic thoughts to calmer places. And I feel like the Eight of Swords was the chaotic place, and I feel like what's transforming or ending is that we're no longer in this Eight of Swords energy. So it does feel like you have movement this month. So if you have been stuck in the mind, obsessively thinking, not knowing what to do, feeling like your hands are tied, or that you can't see the way forward, I feel like you're going to have a renewed sense of love for self, surrender, and trusting your intuition. I feel like that's what you've really been working hard on. And if you have, I feel like it's coming at you pretty quickly here. Oh, I like that. The Queen of Swords shows up. So I feel like the transformation brings out the Queen of Swords in you. I feel like you've decided that you are going to erect some boundaries here, boundaries of truth. So when people do come at you and they ask you questions or things, or maybe they just assume things about you, I feel like you're going to dig into your intuition and give them balanced yet honest and truthful answers about what's really going on. I feel like these are people who you don't really trust. I feel like there's no more tippy-toeing, I want to say. It feels like, Pisces, you're no longer going to be tippy-toeing around people in order not to hurt their feelings. And look, the Queen of Swords does not mean to ruffle feathers or hurt anyone's feelings. But in a world where everybody is pretending to be someone else on the internet, people don't like the truth. They don't like the honest truth. So I feel like by you being truthful, it is going to cause some people to move away from you. And I think that's why you're being asked to release guilt, because you don't have control over the situation or over how other people act or think. And so you need to let people be who they are. And that's why we have boundaries. You make promises to yourself, and that way you can let people be who they are without judgment. And so I feel like you're coming to this place of mental balance because, you know what, you're loving yourself more, trusting yourself more, and you're listening to your intuition and giving the rest to the universe and saying, can you please take care of this? I can't carry it all. Tell me about voyage, please. What do we need to know about this voyage? It feels like a voyage of releasing emotion. That's what it feels like. It feels like somebody's been carrying someone else or something else. Maybe even carrying the kids. I'm just saying. You can see this whale here carrying the baby. Maybe you've been carrying the kids emotionally. Maybe you've been carrying friends emotionally. I feel like it's time to let things go. I was just going to say with the Eight of Cups is detaching from the emotional part of it. I feel like you're giving up this emotional part of it in favor of the Queen of Swords. Because the Queen of Swords is the one who doesn't really have a whole lot of stress, because they know that what they're saying is empathically the truth. And it's not that anybody needs to be unhappy or make another person unhappy. Look, you can't make somebody who is unhappy happy. The truth is this. It says, I'm aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. There's going to be people in your life, Pisces, that are not on the right path, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. All you can do is show them empathy, because this queen does have empathy, but also has some good solid boundaries. So I feel like you are disconnecting emotionally, releasing some things. This is the card with the eclipse. We've got a couple of eclipses here. Some of the things you are releasing will be without you signing off on it, right? It won't be because you want it to go. Some things will just be eclipsed from your life. Full moons, got full moon above the head of the whale there. Full moons are about releases, but we have a full moon eclipse coming up at the middle of the month. So we've got the Seven of Wands, and we have the Queen of Wands. It does feel like it's time for you to be independent. You've got to think for yourself. You've got to move forward. I feel like you spend a lot of time protecting your energy or protecting your emotions because of people who would strap you with guilt. And listen, people never put guilt on you. You're the one that keeps the guilt. You're the one that keeps the guilt because you feel bad for not doing what is best for you. And I feel like this isn't going to be an easy transition. It feels like it might be a bit of a hard transition because we do have the Nine of Swords here. So it might be some sleepless nights or worrying about what people think about you. And by the way, it's none of your business what people think about you. You just need to move ahead like the Queen of Wands. Look, she's not concerned about what people think about her, right? Feminine or masculine, I say her because there's a woman on the card, but she is, the master manifester, and she's sitting on the throne because she's been through a lot of things, and she has earned her spot on the throne. And she is moving forward very independently. I don't care if I fall and scrape my knees or scrape my nose. I don't care if people see me do that. I really don't care. I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to say my own thing. This is the one who is independent and fiery. We do have the Nine of Swords. Why do we have the Nine of Swords here, please, for Pisces? We have the Justice card in the reverse. Okay. So, the thing is when you do put up boundaries, Pisces, the truth is that some people will wander off and they won't come back. Because the reason they kept coming back is because they could manipulate you emotionally. And so I feel that when people realize that they have hit the boundary, some of them won't come back. And I feel like that's where this Justice in the reverse and the Nine of Swords comes from. You're worrying how people view you, or that you're thinking that they think you're terrible and awful. And some people might, but you can keep moving regardless of what people think about you. The Justice card in the reverse tells me in some of these cases, you're just not going to get any justice. And that's the truth. It's like if you don't water the plants, if you ask somebody to come water your plants and you're not there to water the plants, do the plants die? Are they going to keep up their side of the bargain or their side of the conversation? Or, you know what I mean? Like you need to make room in your life for people that really matter, people that are giving you reciprocal energy. We do have the Seven of Cups, and it does feel like there is going to be some really overly emotional, confusing things for you to root through. I'm going to say that will be the effects of Venus retrograding in Aries, because Aries is, forward motion. Let's go get it. It's like, Aries is ruled by Mars, which is the god of war and thunder, right? It's like, I'm going to go get it no matter what. And then all of a sudden Pisces shows up in retrograde. And I feel like the energy of Aries and Venus in Pisces, I said Pisces, I meant Venus. When Venus shows up in retrograde, I feel like it's, Aries is a little bit aggravated. So things come to the top. We start looking at ourselves, right? We start, in this energy, we start with the self-reflection. Am I good enough? Did I do the right thing? We start to question who we are here. Tell me more. We have the Queen of Pentacles. You are enough. You know your worth, Pisces, regardless of what's going on with the people around you. Because look, happiness is an inside job, and if we always are waiting for things around the outside of us, the peripherals, the person who dates us, the person who gives us money, if we start waiting for all those things to make us happy, that tells us we aren't truly happy on the inside. I feel like whoever I'm connecting with here truly knows their worth. I'm stable, I'm secure, I take good care of myself, I am an overgiver, but it's time for me to roll it back. I'm very focused on me, very focused on my pentacle world. I feel like we've got 3 queens here. The only queen we haven't shown yet is the Queen of Cups. And I feel it's because you're trying to keep your emotions at bay. It feels like you are about to turn into the Empress, and you're about to level up your vibrational energy is what it feels like. But I think first we need to take care of this guilt. It's time to release any beliefs that no longer assist your soul's growth. Because some people will put that on you if you don't have the same political views or beliefs, if you don't have the same religious beliefs. Sometimes that will cause arguments and fights, right? And so I think you just need to let it go. And anybody who's going to try and cause the strife or put guilt on you because you don't take their point of view, I think while you're in their energy, act as if. Be as balanced and as healed as you can, and then just let it go. Release them. Send them back to the universe here. We do have the Two of Wands. It is a decision. So I feel like you're supposed to be prepared to release these things, to release beliefs that people put on you. And I'm also talking about family traditions. Maybe you come from a long line of firefighters or a long line of police officers, or you come from a long line of people who have just trashed their diet with terrible food. It doesn't mean that you can't change it for your own children, your own posterity, or your own life. It's like you have to make the decision to release the guilt of somebody would put on you. for not agreeing or doing what they want you to do. We've got the Four of Swords. This is a month of healing for you. I feel like there's going to be things that are going to be taken away from your life. And I feel like those are probably acquaintanceships and people who really aren't your friends. I feels like this is a time for healing for you. Be prepared to do a lot of healing, a lot of possibly being by yourself, healing by yourself. We've got the Ten of Swords in the reverse, and it's going to be the hardest for those of you who are not willing to let go. I'm just going to say, get out of the doorway and into the flow. You got to stop stopping people from leaving your life when it's time for them to go. Not everybody's meant to stay forever, even though you would rather hold on to their arm and keep them there. But I feel like it's going to be hard for you to let some of these things go and end. When I see the Ten of Swords in the reverse, it's because somebody is trying not to change, or is scared of the ending, is scared of the pain that'll come with the ending. And so they're trying to sidestep an ending. And so at that point, we become a people pleaser, and we'll do anything to keep you in our life. We become a people pleaser. And so I feel like that's what it is. It's time to let go of the guilt so you can let go of people, places, things, and situations that no longer serve you. We've got the Six of Wands. Tells me you will have victory at this. We do have the Three of Wands because there's more out there for you. It's not just what is here and now in this moment. There's so much more that you have not explored. Many people to meet, many jobs to learn, many courses to take, many ways to expand your mind. There's so many ways to expand. So many things that are waiting out there for you. And I feel like this Ten of Swords is telling me that you're going to fight it tooth and nail. Because I feel like I'm talking to somebody who could maybe have an earth placement or maybe a fixed sign placement. It feels like you don't want to let go. And so unfortunately, when you refuse to let go, that person, that's when the power transfers from you to them. That's when the queen is no longer in charge. So when you do anything to keep someone in your life, include, whatever that is, maybe giving up your morals, giving up your values, being a slave to whatever for them, whenever they want you there. I would say that it's time to let that go. But some of you are fighting the urge to move forward in your life because you know that some of these people can't really come with you. Yeah, turns you into the wounded warrior. So I feel like things are going to be eclipsed from your life this month. People, places, situations, but it's all for your learning and for your happiness. I feel like you're going to be celebrating this. In hindsight, when you look at it, there's going to be people that you're kind of glad dropped off because you realize when they're at a distance, you realize what really they were doing in your life. And maybe it was a negative force in your life. Maybe they had you stuck and maybe you were in the service of them instead of being in the service of you. It's time for a change. It's time to make some decisions in the month of March that are going to make you happy, but are definitely going to teach you some lessons because the student is there. Let's look at some Lenormand before we go. Tell me about Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the woman. We've got the dice. We've got the snake. We are the year of the snake, aren't we? And then we have, again, 14. You might be seeing 14s, 1s or 4s in any different types of ways they come up for 114, 1144. It feels like 1s and 4s are your thing this month. But we do have somebody here who might be in a woman's body, feminine or masculine, and it feels like somebody here is rolling the dice. And rolling the dice, it feels like taking a chance of getting hurt by putting up these boundaries because you can't trust everybody. I'm talking to somebody who just knows they cannot trust everybody in their life. And those ones you cannot trust are the ones you're rolling the dice on. And those ones are the ones that are going to hurt. But remember, you are the Queen of Wands and you've been through a lot of stuff. I feel like you'll be able to handle it. But look, you don't want the snakes in your life, right? It's time to shed the skin. And so you don't have to look over your shoulder any longer. Because it feels like these are people who you really can't trust. It is time for you to roll the dice here. We have the 9 of Wands, which tells me this is wounded warrior energy. We also have the Ace of Swords, which tells me It's time to raise the Ace of Swords like this Queen. It's time to cut away the guilt or the people who would just, you know, use you as a good luck charm. I'm going to say the clovers here, right? 4-leaf clovers, that they would use you for balance or use you for reciprocal energy, maybe even to borrow money. 6 of Pentacles in the bottom right-hand corner. It's time for you to have balance, but first, you've got to learn to let some things go. Yeah. I'm going to go right now. Thank you so much for being here and watching, Pisces, and I'll be back because I'm always back, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Happy March to you. Bye-bye.